되겠습니다. 결승전은 대한민국 대 인도 선수단이 결승전에서 경기를 치르게 되겠습니다.
At the Geyang Asiad Archery Field, at the Geyang Asiad Archery Field, and at the elimination range now, it's time for the big one, the gold medal match. It's going to be the Republic of Korea, the hosts, and the overwhelming favourites up against India. You can see the Indians making their way out. Rajat Chauhan, Sandeep Kumar and Abhishek Verma will have their task cut out against the men in white, Choi Yong-hee, Min Lee-hong and Yang Yong-hoo. This is the big final, and Novi Kapadia, what an opportunity this is. It hasn't been a very happy games for India, but a second gold medal could be on the cards.
Well, the tricolour fluttering over here at the Geyang Asiad Archery Field, as well as obviously the Korean flag. They are the hosts, the favourites, and if India do pull it off, it will be considered a major upset. Well, it's happy to see that they're there with a smile on their face. That's how Korea have reached, by then beating Kazakhstan comfortably and then narrowly edging past Philippines. We saw the Philippines were really good. Paul Martin de la Cruz, Patrick Chapeko and Benjamin Yap. The three Koreans, Yong-hee Choi, Min Lee-hong and Yang Yong-ho. They are the favourites, but can the crowd pressure tell on them? India are in very good form. India really have nothing to lose. And it's a new team. The youngsters, can they pull it off? Abhishek especially in sparkling form. India beaten Qatar comfortably, then Malaysia, and finally in the semi-final against Iran, who ended up with the bronze medal. India winning by a comfortable margin of 4 points. Abhishek Verma, Sandeep Kumar and Rajat Chauhan. Can this trio bring gold and glory for India and set a new chapter in archery? Limbaram was the one who brought archery to our notice. It helped added a, in the sports vocabulary, added a term, Sambuddha. We came to know that bullseye was not a peppermint sweet, but it was a term in archery, thanks to Limbaram. Can these two make archery, a household name?
Well, marksmen really have been bringing glory to India in the last few games. The archers, the shooters, all setting their sights. This is a mouth-watering clash coming up. As Novi was mentioning, a win here for India will represent a monumental upset. In no uncertain terms. Those three over there, the crowd will get behind them. They've done it before. Korea, of course. The much-wanted Koreans once again looking to step up to the plate. And it will be they who will get us underway in the final of the compound men's team event.
Yes, the important thing, Sambuddha, was that India looked quite relaxed, the trio. And that is a good sign. They're not letting the occasion get to them. But maybe it could be a mask also. They're just masking their feelings. It's to be seen how they shoot. The Koreans haven't got off to the best of starts. No bullseyes yet. Both their front two have 2 nines. Oh, and totally off. So really not the best of starts. A chance for India to forge ahead. Are we going to see the mother of all upsets?
Sandeep Kumar.
And he's off target also. The wind and the nerves taking their toll.
That's Abhishek Verma,
who's in the final. He's the man in form. Indian hopes depend on him. He does well, not the bullseye, but, well, India within touching distance. And now the burly Rajat Chauhan.
A perfect shot from him will give India the lead. Oh, there it is. Wonderful. Promising early signs for the Indians. Novi, you were mentioning earlier that they look quite relaxed. It sounds strange in a final, but honestly, if you were to look at the larger picture, as far as the Indians are concerned, the way they've come through, it's just a little bit more than nothing to lose for the Indians.
And off target, the Koreans, I think they are feeling the pressure. Sometimes it happens when you're such overwhelming favourites and in front of the home crowd. We know Brazil in the Football World Cup, what happened to them in that semi-final. Well, that's better.
Will settle the nerves. Anything less than a perfect shot will be disappointing.
And that's the sign of champions, the ultimate bullseye. Well, it's within touchable distance. It's not out of range for Rajat, Sandeep and Abhishek.
There's Sandeep. Nine from Sandeep.
He'll be relieved. He started with an 8. And now the man in form, Abhishek.
Nine as well from Verma.
Or is it the perfect 10?
It's a game of millimeters, honestly. Rajat Chauhan looking to keep India ahead. A 9 should manage that. A 9 or more, that is. Just about.
Yes, it was just about a narrow shave. Well, compound archery is a non-Olympic event. It's making its debut in the Asian Games. And the Koreans are very formidable. They set a world record during their 238-215 win over Laos in the quarterfinals. Getting 238 out of a possible 240, beating the previous mark of USA. So this is a formidable trio. You can't write them off yet, the Koreans. You know, they are capable of, 310s.
The Koreans dominate this sport, Novi. No one's ever going to write them off for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a very happy bunch of the Indian Rajat, Sandeep and all youngsters, Abhishek Verma. And Abhishek Verma is there in the individual final. So archery could suddenly bring joy to India. For the first week has been slightly disappointing. What the shooters couldn't do, as you said, maybe these other marksmen can do, the archers.
It's been a surprise lead here for India, as you can see over there. A couple of bullseyes for them, as indeed for Korea. But the 9s for India making the difference over the hosts. It's a surprise lead, but now the challenge for the Indians will be to maintain that intensity and to make sure that their form doesn't taper off.
And that human frailty in the high pressure situation, how can they maintain that? The medals tally, when we'll show you the medals table soon, India 1 more bronze and of course over here, if India end up with the gold, they'll go up on the medals table from their 16th place at the end of yesterday. But anyway, back to the archery.
Choi, Min and Yang lining up for the Koreans. 9 over there. Not as many bullseyes in these early exchanges. That's something that we've seen from the Koreans earlier. But here, you really won't call it wilting under pressure in the final. But yes, it's not been as outstanding as we have seen it from them.
They've not been as consistent as their women's team were. I spoke too soon, the curse of the commentators. This was the perfect 10. But again, as we said in the previous round, it's within touchable distance.
Definitely. An average of 9 over the next 3 shots will keep India level. Anything more will keep them ahead. That's the way to go about it.
Sandeep now. Oh, just borderline. He's just managed it. Relief on his face.
The Indians juggling their formation just a bit. Rajat Chauhan, though, will be the last for them in this series again. And he keeps India in the lead.
Yes, it's good to see the team spirit when Rajat was shooting, Abhishek and Sandeep shaking hands, and they've increased the lead. So I think the pressure is mounting on Korea. It's now or never for them in this round.
Just to put things in perspective, 2 points, not that significant. It's just the difference between a bullseye and an 8. And teams can slip up towards the final stages. We saw that in the women's final as well.
Koreans, especially their first 2 archers, just not getting their targets in sight.
Maybe they need to shuffle their combination around as well, just as India have done.
Well, he's been the epitome of consistency. But this time, not as much. And the lead narrowing. It was 27 earlier. Now it is just 26. A great chance for India.
Choi and Yang, the last two for Korea, once again letting them down. Abhishek Verma maintaining the intensity.
You see, I think Abhishek, he's oozing with confidence. He's in the men's singles final, so they're giving him the first arrow, which is always very important. It's like the first man who takes a penalty kick in the shootouts.
Sets the tone, absolutely right, Novi. And wonderful as well from Sandeep Kumar.
Sandeep probably is slightly the weakest link, so he's being shielded. He's in the second spot.
Rajat Chauhan. A perfect shot from him will give India a 3-point lead. That indeed turns out to be the case. So India on the upswing. That's wonderful to see.
Yes, and is this going to be India's second gold medal? Are the world champions, the team which set a world record in the victory against Laos, are they going to be upstage? Watch this. The perfect bullseye from Rajat Chauhan. He's going to be quite a hero if India end up with a gold medal, the most unexpected gold medal. Rajat Chauhan is youngster, just 20 years old, born on 30th December, solidly built, 89 kilograms, looks like a heavyweight boxer, 1.74 meters, 5 feet 8 inches tall. Then by India also have a Korean coach in archery, and maybe he's helping India to upstage the home team. Well, that's it. And the bullseyes, Korea 3 and India 4. That's really what's made the difference.
If you're wondering about how the 3-point advantage got narrowed down to 2, it's because the officials, of course, review it. And as I said earlier, it's a question of millimeters. So what you see initially, the points that could change around, it's a margin of small percentages. The officials have a closer look. Depending on what zone the tip of the arrow is touching, they may revise the scores at the end of every series.
So is it going to be a happy hunting day for India? Bronze medal in the women's team and the men's team on the verge of a major upset and a gold medal, but it's still, we are only halfway through.
No matter what happens here, the Indian trio of Abhishek Verma, Sandeep Kumar and Rajat Chauhan can be proud of themselves. Korea need much more of that. Min Lee Hong has been the most impressive for the Koreans. Yang and Choi need to back him up a lot more. The wind not much of a factor, less than a meter per second. Almost a perfect round for the Koreans.
Yeah, just off. The last shooter, and the Korean supporters in large numbers egging them on. So Abhishek setting proceedings for India.
Abhishek Verma over there, born in 1989, 25 years old. Around 5 feet 7.5 inches tall, weighs 80 kilograms. That's his compatriot there, Sandeep. Sandeep Kumar, another youngster, 26 years old. 5 feet 8 inches tall, 78 kilograms.
He's got 9, so taken the pressure off Rajat.
A score of 9 or more will keep India in the lead. Oh, it's perfect. Just what they would have wanted.
I think Rajat is having an outstanding final. His calmness under pressure is really quite remarkable.
As this tie progresses, you would imagine the pressure will build and they'll feel it more and more, will the Koreans, for sure. India have managed the first target, which was also, by the way, to silence the crowd a little bit. The home factor can be huge in contests, especially in the decisive stages.
I think the Koreans have now realized they've got a fight on their hands. I think they came out with a bit of complacency that, you know, who are these newcomers in the final.
Yeah, though you never think that a final will be a walk in the park, but you may not take the opposition as seriously as you would some of the other favorites. Oh, what a brilliant way to go about things here. Perfect from the Koreans. Almost well. We'll take a look at how the officials eventually tally it once the Indians are done, obviously. Marginal, the difference between a 10 and a 9. Just a hair's breadth at times, separating the two tallies. As you can see over there. Given as a 10, but again we'll have to wait for the official verdict. So 9 or more from Rajat will keep India's noses in front. At the 3/4 mark, it is indeed India who are ahead. Just a point separating them from the Koreans. But it's a significant advantage. Not too many people would have expected this sort of a scorecard at this stage of the final. But it's India who have come in with a stunning performance. The Koreans looking shell-shocked, Novi.
Yes, certainly. You're seeing the replays. The time which comes on the screen indicates that that is the time left to fire the arrow. They have a certain target. They have to get to the target in a certain time limit. Rajat, who's been really very consistent, strongly built, 20-year-old. Compound archery, a new event in the Asian Games, and a chance for India to get a gold medal here and add to the tally. Well, now the judges are reviewing it. So let us see. There's the Indian Thokchom and the Korean representative, and Hawkeye looking at. There's a little bit of argument going on. If there was that doubt about one of them, I think that was Abhishek's first arrow. And let's see what the judges say. The Korean coach trying to bolster morale. But the nice thing is to see the relaxed atmosphere in the Indian team. The men in blue, you know, not feeling the pressure. And here the home crowd getting charged up. They thought that, you know, the 2 goals were there for the asking. But it's not happening in the men's event.
We've spoken at length about the Indians, Novi. Just to focus a bit more on the Koreans, we'll just come back to that. So now it's a couple of points advantage. Now India 171 as opposed to 169 for Korea. 4 bullseyes in the last couple of series for India, making the difference for them. As I was saying, the Koreans over here have been good through Min Lee Hong initially, but you look at the other two in the sequence, Yang Young-ho and Choi Yong-hee. They haven't been good initially, but are now beginning to up the tempo a bit, and that's danger signs for India.
Yeah, but it's now important is India has to maintain that consistency, not find the pressure, the tempo, you know, maintain the tempo. Well, back to the archery range. Is that the perfect 10? Oh, totally off target. This could be a turning point in the final. The coach telling him to relax. Was it the wind speed? I don't think. Well, yes. The lead is now only 24 points, and I think the Indians can sense it. They are on the threshold of history.
The key now for them is to not get too excited. History in sight. The wind picking up now 4.4 meters per second. It hasn't upset Abhishek Verma much. An average of 8 over the next 3 shots. What the Indians would have needed just to stay ahead. Sandeep Kumar. What a performance this has been from the Indians. We just can't say it enough times. Their standout performer next, Rajat Chauhan. A perfect shot from him will give India a substantial advantage. There you have it. That is exactly what the Indians would have wanted. 4 points is it's a massive advantage going into the last 3 shots.
Yes, it's playing the last 10 minutes, 3 goals up. It's really going to be tough even for the world champions.
Yeah, it's a bit like 20 runs needed from the last over in cricket, to give you an easier analogy. for the Koreans. Yang and Choi feeling the pressure. Just doing enough to stay afloat. Are we seeing history being made at the Gyeongsang Asiad Archery Field? The rank outsiders, the underdogs India, on the threshold of something so spectacular. We'll have the equation for you now. It's going to be 26 needed for India from the last 3 shots. An average of just under 9 per shot. Up first, it's Abhishek Verma. He's been shooting 9s and 10s. Keeps his run going. So the equation now is 17 from the last 2 shots. A golden run from the Indian archers.
This is very crucial, Sambuddha. Sandeep, can he maintain consistency?
It's hard not to get excited. Perfect! Exactly what India would have wanted. And now, a shot of 7. It's the least you would expect from Rajat Chauhan. Will bring India that much coveted piece of gold medal. For the first time ever at the Asian Games, India could land up on top of the podium in archery. Indeed they do! History is made for India at the Gyeongsang Asiad Archery Field. Over there on the elimination ranges, Sandeep Kumar, Rajat Chauhan, Abhishek Verma have brought glory. The tricolour will fly high. The anthem will ring out. We have never seen this before at the Asian Games. This is the 17th edition. And what an outstanding performance this has been from the Indians. Unbelievable, Novi.
Yes, and more than that, to put it in perspective, is that the world champions have been beaten and beaten convincingly. Right from round 1, India led. And these 3 youngsters, as we mentioned, they came out with the right attitude, cheerful, smiling. They were going to enjoy the occasion. Whilst I think the pressure went on the world champions. Right from the beginning, they weren't that epitome of consistency. And as we were mentioning that last round, this is the shot which made the difference. The coach is trying to console him, but it didn't work out. And so India have now reached 2 gold medals finally. Will go up the medals tally from the 16th position. And Sambuddha, archery is doing what tennis did in the Guangzhou Asian Games, the unexpected gold medals last time. Well, we got a gold and a bronze from the competition.
Confirmation then of how it finished eventually in the men's team final. It was India upstaging the overwhelming favourites Korea 227 to 225.